Shalom, like if our underglory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, like double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations, stars, sincere brothers pushing this rod across the four corners of the earth. This is a response video to Apostle Gabar's develop a spiritual mind, not a carnal one. And that's a very important aspect to have, which is a spiritual mindset, especially in the times that we are in now. And one of the main concepts that majority of our people cannot see, the ones that know they are Israelites, that a lot of our people are going to look like the other nations. So this was a guideline that the Most High Yahweh gave to us as a people to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments as a people. And we penalized that. So by doing that, that was like an infraction. And that's where these curses and misfortunes came upon us at. And this is Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 15th verse. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Another word for curses is misfortunes. And one of those misfortunes for breaking the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments as a people, that he was going to scatter us across the four corners of the earth. And further prove that, this is Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 64th verse. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So through the process of us breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments as a people, the Most High Yahweh will scatter us across the four corners of the earth amongst all people. So you have to think about it. Once we got settled there, we started mingling with those other nations. Now our offspring came about and started looking like those other nations. It's not a hard concept to fathom, but that's the point of this lesson. Develop a spiritual mind, not a carnal one. So when the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. And to further prove that, this is Tobit, the 13th chapter and the 3rd verse. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. So the Most High Yahweh has scattered us across the four corners of the earth due to us being a hard-necked and stiff-necked nation. So he's going to scatter us amongst the Gentiles, these other nations. There declare his greatness and extol him before all the living, for he is our Lord, and he is the power our Father forever. And he will scourge us for our iniquities. So we are getting chastised as a whole nation by breaking the Most High's laws. And we'll have mercy again. And that's the beautiful point of Yahushua coming back on the scene for dying for the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. Then the ones of our people that don't make it on this side, they're going to be the children of the elect in the next kingdom. And that fits the prophecy of saying that all Israel should be saved. And he will scourge us for our iniquities and will have mercy again and will gather us out of all nations among whom he has scattered us. That's just simply and plain. And this is Isaiah, the 22nd chapter and the 18th verse. He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country, hence the transatlantic slave trade. So the prophet Isaiah saw through the spirit that we're going to be turned and tossed like a ball into a large country. That's why you see the transatlantic slave trade maps. You see just lines everywhere, meaning that we're going to be transferred from here to there. And through that process, we're just scattered across the four corners of the earth as a total nation. So the nation of Israel is everywhere on this planet Earth. Therefore, we're going to be looking like these other nations where we have been scattered into their lands. There shalt thou die, and there the chariots of thy glory shall be the shame of thy Lord's house. And Apostle Gabar is right through the spirit. Develop a spiritual mind, not a carnal one. Because you can't just see and look at every so-called dark-skinned person and just say, oh, that's an Israelite. Because you have a lot of people out here that look like a so-called Negro. They got the features, they got the woolly hair, they got the dark skin tone. But at the same time, all those might not be Israelites. Because you got to think about through the process of slavery, even though we were scattered across the four corners of the earth, and our forefathers slept with the women of the other nations, and it came out to be Israelites. On the flip side, you have a lot of our people with the women slept with these other nations as well. And the children probably came out looking like Israelites, but at the same time, their spirit goes back to being wherever that nation that Israelite mother slept with. So you have to go by the spirit in situations like that. So it's a flip side to it. There are a lot of people that we see nowadays, and you think that's a Negro or that could be an Israelite. That could be another nation, because Esau did that a lot on the slave plantations, especially down here in the South. So this is Romans the 8th chapter and the 6th verse. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because Yahweh Shah, he deals with the ones that are spiritually minded. And on this side, this is going to be the elect of the nation of Israel. And 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they have that carnal mind. Just like when Yahweh Shah stated that you are your father the devil, because Esau goes by carnality. He believes in tangibility. He don't believe it until he see it or he can be able to touch it or feel it. So 2/3 of our people, they have that same type of mindsets. So they are associated with the mindset of Esau. So for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because a carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, neither indeed can be. So by being carnal minded, it's opposed to the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We try to be in good graces of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, so it's best to be spiritually minded. Or just pray and ask Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, bless you to be spiritually minded. If you are still in that carnal mindset, you thinking that all Israelites gonna look like the regular so-called Negro or Latino, Hispanic, or Native American, that's not the case. And this is 1 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter and the 14th verse. But the natural man receiving not the things of the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So the natural man is referring to being carnal. For they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. So the natural man, just think about it, a lot of our people know that they are Israelites. And a lot of these people been knowing that they are Israelites probably way before most of us been born. But a lot of those people cannot see the concept that our people is going to be looking like the other nations, because we have been scattered across the four corners of the earth amongst those lands of the other nations. So that is referred to as a natural man, because they receiving not the things of the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Shai. So the water to Yahweh Bashem Shai for giving us that mindset and being spiritually minded, that we can be able to see that. And being spiritually discerned, that's a spiritual gift from Yahweh Bashem Shai. So call law again to Yahweh Bashem Shai for that. So let's get the word discern from the Edamon online. And it says, perceive or recognize the difference or distinction between two or more things. So that's what the elect have, that spiritual eye salve that they can be able to spiritually discern. Lord willing, we're part of that hopeful elect, because we can be able to see how a lot of our people are going to be looking like the other nations. And far as like in the rap game, you have a lot of people that look like these other nations, but they got flavor, they got style. In today's terms, people like to say swag, but they have that salt. And you be able to see how they be able to maneuver, how our people love to flock to them. Chances are very high that that can be an Israelite. You know, they can be able to sing, dance, they move to the tune, they can be able to rap real good. So that's being spiritually discerned. So right here it says, perceive or recognize the difference or distinction between two or more things. So only elect have those eyes, which is that spiritual eye salve via the Holy Spirit given by Yahweh Bashem Shai. And that's why Yahweh Shai stated this. This is Matthew, the 13th chapter and the 9th verse. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. These are going to those spiritual ears, because pretty much everybody has physical ears, but it's going to those spiritual ears. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. Only elect the nation of Israel are going to be the ones that can be able to hear the words of Yahweh Bashem Shai on their side. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou to them in parables? So those dark sayings, those different proverbs. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So part of the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven is that a lot of our people is going to be looking like the other nations. And that's a mystery till this day. The mysteries of the Gentiles. A lot of people cannot just spiritually fathom that when it says that there's no difference between a Jew and Greek, that's talking about the same stock of people, Israelites, because a lot of our people went into the Greek custom way of life. For whosoever have, to him should be given, and he shall have more abundance, but whosoever have not, from him shall be taken away, even that he have. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And this is Yahweh Shai word plan, the same words that the prophet Isaiah spoke. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, by hearing you shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Because Yahweh Shai has an angel blocking those spiritual precepts or those spiritual understandings or those spiritual gifts for majority of our people that can't be able to perceive the truth and part of the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. And just the point of the whole lesson. Verse 16, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. So now we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, when John the Revelator was on the island of Patmos, when he saw that great multitude in the book of Revelation, the 7th chapter, he was talking about Israelites that are going to be looking like the other nations. He could not number nor count, because the nation of Israel was scattered from one end of the earth to the other, pursuant to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and 64th verse, for breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. So now it makes sense through the Spirit when we read Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter and the 2nd verse, how they should be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Yes, that's talking about the so-called UFOs, what the common people call them, but through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, we classify them as the chariots of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, known as the angels, where they are going to be delivering the elect of the nation Israel, destroying 2/3 of the nation Israel, and also destroying these other nations. So these people are going to be amazed to see that. But on the flip side, that the ones of our people that know that they are Israelites, but they still caught up in that carnal mindset of thinking that all Israelites are going to look like a regular so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native American. But they are going to be amazed to see that these people that look like the other nations getting delivered as well, which is going to the Israelite foreigners. That same vision that the prophet John the Revelator had on the island of Patmos. So develop a spiritual mind, not a carnal one. You're going to see a case example video of this rapper named Shatta Spence. I think he comes out of Jersey, and his mom is from Vietnam. So he has the style, the flavor, the salt, like an Israelite. So the Israelite foreigners are going to be looking like these other nations. And this is a case example right here I'm going to show you all. And with that, I hope you all be edified. Shalom.
Let's get it on, I'm ready. If you getting dough, I'm with it. We gon' bring it back to the city. If you wanna ride, come with me. Hey. Let's get it on, I'm ready. If you getting dough, I'm with it. Yeah, we gon' bring it back to the city. Come on. If you wanna ride, come with me. Bitch, I've been about my fetty, and you know my game be steady. If the burden get too heavy, they gon' pick it up, no Chevy. I'm from the dirty, 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 dirty Jersey. I got that 732 across my belly. I'm from the dirty, 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 dirty Jersey. That dirty Jersey, that dirty Jersey. I'm from the dirty, 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 dirty Jersey. I got that 732 across my belly. I'm from that dirty, 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 filthy F-town. That dirty F-town. Oh baby, get down, down, down. Never no problemo, nothing I can't handle. When they raise the bar up, we high jump, not limbo. Benzo tint the window, endo on crescendo. Talk that money lingo, Monday to Domingo. Riding with my kinfolk, hit the pedal with my Timbo. Hanging out the window, like this my city, this my city. This my people, they raise me, I raise hell, they ride for me. Right or wrong, I'ma ride for them anytime, anywhere, around anybody.